Do 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 do. Boy, I can hear a lot of people chittering, chattering. Do 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 do. Well, let me go to my Facebook page. I think there might be a few people out there. And there is 38 people. Good morning, everybody. Like I said, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what part of the world you live in. We're coming to you live from First Break Billiards here in Sterling, Virginia. Anthony, the owner, and we're down to the final 16. 8 on the winner's side, 8 on the losers. But guess what? The final 16 is a redraw and single elimination. Mr. Fedor Gorst yesterday getting knocked over to the one-loss side. But guess what? The winners get punished today because, it's single elimination now, right? So all these undefeated players kind of get punished, but that's the format. Hi, Sandra. And that's where we're at right now. It is a 9-ball world ranking points tournament. Everybody showed up for this, as you guys know, that paid for the pay-per-view already. If you haven't paid for the pay-per-view, there's a link up in the narrative, I believe. It's right up in the, up on the top in the description, on top of the video. Click that, and you can purchase your pay-per-view right there. We're going to be playing pool probably until the late evenings of today. Not only that, if there's any other tables going in progress, which there will be, you guys have the opportunity to switch between tables to the match that you prefer to watch. Every match is live streamed, and there's live scoring updated by the players on that table. The only commentary would be on the main table that you're looking at right here. Good morning, Roger. And Mike Kovac says, shoot well. Greg Hogue, Red Door Inn Training Center. Mike Kovac, thank you, Upstate Al, for all the hard work. Well, it's not only me. We got Zach on the left side here to navigating the ship here from Digital Pool 2. Hi, Roy. Good morning to you, Roy. So we got a lot of action here. There's a lot of pressure on a lot of these players. The purse for winning this is, I would say, on a weekend tournament, astronomical. For a great tournament like this. I mean, you could walk out the door with close to $15,000, $16,000, something in that range, maybe more. John Francisco, my man. What's up, Daddy? That's John Francisco. His nickname is Johnny Two Shoes. He's always showing his sneakers out there. I guess you're back in New York. I seen you make a post that you'll be at Rax. So if anybody's looking for action, go to Rax. Which table is the feature table? The one you're looking at right here, Sandra. We also included the overhead like we promised. Well, anyway, as I was saying, as I was rudely cut off by the program, this is the overhead that we promised right here. So you guys now have, I think we have four cameras on the main table, left, right, center, and overhead. This is the main table that you're looking at right here. My man, Del Sims, I wish you were here, but I know your reasons for not being here, my friend. I know your reasons, Del. And we miss you. You know, Raymond Lanaz was here. And a tale of two Tommies. Rax. John Francisco's going to Rax. He's looking for Dell. Justin Mason says # Upstate Al, hashtag or whatever you call it. The players are now walking in. They can't believe the arena that we put together overnight. The table was moved to the center of the arena this morning. We were here till about 2 in the morning. Hey, Jesse, what's up, buddy? And the table was moved in this morning, so we actually set our cameras up for your camera angles here. This will be your center camera. We have a left and a right, like I said, and the overhead. This is going to be great to watch. It's exciting. The players that are walking in the door right now can't believe the arena that was built this morning or overnight. Mike Callahan, what's up, baby? Miss you, Mikey. I hope to come down in New York and see you somewhere down there, you and your lovely wife, and, of course, your brother and the family. CTQ man, my man. Polish, yeah, you ain't kidding, man. That I had, Michael Callahan and his wife made some kielbasa and sent it down to Super Billiards Expo, and it was to die for. That's a good idea, Johnny. Hey, if everybody would kindly share the stream and let everybody know that they can purchase at the comment above the stream. It's very simple to remember. It's onsitepool.com/Upstate Al. We do appreciate it, me, from the bottom of my heart. I mean, people have been calling me, and now all of a sudden they want to be a friend. They want to, well, not a friend, but they want to be partners in the business and this and that. Hey, Amanda Thorpe. Good morning to you and your family. And your boy is still in it, right? Billy's still in it, right? Billy's still in it. Yeah, he's still in it. Good morning to everybody. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, my man Upstate Al, Mac Attack. What's up, brother? Come up with the goods. You guys are killing it. Yeah, we're trying. We keep pushing forward. We trudge forward. So if you guys can share the information, let everybody know that we will be live. I believe the first match is set for 11 o'clock. The first match will be Tommy TOKOPH and Thomas HAAS. And Thomas HAAS, he's got a reputation in this tournament, but he had one prior. But this, I believe it was Tommy, where Thomas HAAS ran a six-pack on him. Tommy, they played safe for a couple of shots. It was 1-1. Next thing you know, Tommy was sitting in the chair for 6 racks, and Thomas HAAS ran it all of them out and beat him 7-1. And this is Tommy TOKOPH that you're looking at right now. His young ladies in the back cheering him on with some pom-poms. You're going to hear a lot of chitter-chatter. Miss the chat in live stream. Yeah, I do too. I actually do too. And we're going to do that. I mean, we're going to implement the chat at one point or another. It's just there's so much things to do. It's incredible. I don't know anybody would do this that wasn't crazy. I think I'm certified. Definitely certified to the T. And maybe I can't remember the rest of the letters that are in certified. So we'll call it cert. But this is going to be a Tommy TOKOPH, Tommy HAAS, first match. And then, of course, we got the Fedors coming up, and we got the Donnie Mills coming up, and we got the, oh, God, I'm trying to think. Can't think. We got Billy coming up. Who else is? I'm taking a look around the room to try to remember. Oh, Josh Roberts. We got Josh Roberts coming up. We got so much pool coming up. I don't want it to end. So we're just giving you guys a preview of what's going on here. In fact, the scoreboard is on the screen as you're looking at it right now. And I'll take that down. Oh, we can leave it up there. Leave it up there. Let me just do a couple things. You guys caught me in between things here. What is this one? That's that one. Okay, so that's the one I want. Caught me in betweener. I'm a tweener. It's not really as far over as I wanted it. Close, though. Why am I picking up audio? Okay, I'm picking up a lot of audio. I wonder if one of my cameras have the audio on. Let me see.
Let me know if you need any more assistance in the booth today, Al. I'd be happy to jump in.
We do. We do. There was another gentleman that wanted to sit in, but you could sit in, Andrew. Fine. I mean, you could always sit in my seat. I I actually do have to sit here a little while unless I just give you a quick 101 in case you want it, because it's going to be really important that you switch to the overhead once in a while.
Okay.
And if you want to step back here, I can show you that. We're always letting folks come in the booth. These guys that have been sitting in the booth have just been masters. Okay, I'm going to rename this shot so you know it. We'll call it overhead shot. So now that it changes here. So if we had to go to the overhead, you would just click it here and then hit this arrow. And it would go to the overhead so we can see a little close. Now, there's other intricate things that are behind the scenes. I don't expect you to do it right now, but...
All right, so you click on the view you want to go to and then hit the arrow?
Correct, correct. And then there's other things in here, but I don't expect you to do it where you go into custom properties. So if I was in here and we had a shot that was close, I mean, we could zoom in. Yeah, we could tilt it, pan it. But I don't, just leave it the way it is fine.
Sure. And then how do you get back to the other angle?
All you do is, this one here, and then hit live. Or if you happen to be on the overhead here, you can always hit number 2, which is this, number 2.
Okay.
And all you got to do is hit it twice, and then it'll move it over by itself.
All right.
That's like a little switcher that takes place at a big switch. It makes life a little bit easier. You can eat a hamburger and operate the system at the same time. that was my goal. All right, so that's just a one-on-one. So if you went to the overhead, I can click a button for the overhead. I think I already did in here. Let me see if I can do that. Stand by, folks. I know you're out there. I'm sorry. We're just going through some last-minute settings here. Let me see what the overhead was set at. Control-Shift-9. So let's see. Anybody has Control-Shift-9? Control-Shift-8? No. Okay, so we'll assign a hotkey here. Let's assign a hotkey. Overhead is Control-Shift-9. Okay. So now, if you're on this shot, let's say, and you wanted to go to the overhead, this is overhead. You push it, and then you push it again. It'll automatically go to the overhead. And then if you want to get back to camera in the center, camera 1, which is the main camera, you could always just hit number 2. That replicates number 2. Or if you want, I'll name that. This is just copies of the main shot. Okay. That's all these are. But this is a close-up. You know what? Let me fix this. So we can get a close-up of the table here. Let's go here. Wait a minute, is that the close-up? Yeah, that's the close-up. Let me fix this a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty good right there. Okay, and then, like I said, all these, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, because if I can do it, anybody can do it.
You've put in the practice time.
I did. So Andrew's going to sit in along with George, and I think we're going to have one other person. If not, it'll be Andrew, myself, and George, and it just might be that way, Andrew. You might just grab that seat over there, and it'll be the 3 of us.
I'll come back in a few then.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. Okay, all right. No, it hasn't started yet, Mac. It's going to start probably about 25 minutes, more or less. But we're set. Yeah, Tommy HAAS, he's been hurting people. And he's capable. We all know he's capable of doing damage. There we go. Now my other computer's on. What's the score? There is no score. You came to the party late, Thomas. Scott Thomas. We didn't start yet. Let me take the scoreboard down if I can. Let's see. See which one it is so you guys don't get messed up. We'll take that one down. If you want, I can always put a logo in front of Tommy practicing also. We'll call it the Bob Stock or something like that, and we can actually do this, and that'll be it. You guys could, it looks like you can see through it, but you can't. It's actually a table within the poster, right? So it's self-imposed on the poster, and it looks like you can see the table that Tommy's shooting on. Just freak accidents, or what do you call them? I don't know. Something happened where it looks that way. It's single elimination now, correct, Amanda? That's Billy Thorpe's mom right there. Not only is it single elimination, they do a redraw, is what they do. So the brackets get redrawn. So you could be playing the same person that you did. Hey, Sandra, believe it or not, Sandra, I got the worst head cold, or I don't know what I caught at the Super Billiards Expo, but and I don't want to gross you guys out, but my sputum is like, oh my God, it's disgusting. So I'm going to step away, get a cup of tea. George is sitting, standing by. He has pool in his blood, like all of us. He is a historian. He knows every alley behind the alley. And when it comes to pool halls and who's in the pool halls and how the players actually play and where they're from. And if he doesn't know, he asks a question. He said, anybody know where he's from? And that's all you got to do is answer him once with the right answer, and it's a keeper. He absorbs it. Thank you, Sandra. So anyway, I'm running out of things to say right now. But I'm going to be in the booth, Sandra. I'll be back for sure. Let me take the poster down. I was just teasing you guys, especially Scott Thomas. I just wanted to tease him a little bit and throw a poster in his way. This way he wouldn't know the score. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'll be all right. Next stop, Phoenix, Arizona, or North Carolina. We'll be on the road. Oh, maybe Jersey first. And then down south. So we will be going over the pay-per-view, folks. So you guys that are going to get in, I would suggest you get in now. It's going to be hot all day long with matches. So go right over to that link that's in the top. I want to thank Steve Sherman, John Leeper, Zachary Ryan, James Keating, all you guys that are just purchasing the pay-per-view right now. Appreciate it. Keeps us on the road. All right, I'm gonna grab a cup of tea. George, if you want to keep the folks company, grab number 2, the headset number 2. It's on the top of the headset. That's probably number 2, the closest one to you, George, I believe. I kind of wrapped them up in numerical order last night before I left. There you go. You know how to flip that over? Just flip this like this, and you're in. You're in, PP. George is such a cool guy, man. You might have to open this up a little bit, George, because it looks like you got a head that's either, well, you got a hat on, so it's a little bit bigger than myself, but you can always pull those down. Just make sure you're comfortable. And you're on number 2, George. Folks, here he is.
All right.
All right.
We're back in the saddle for day 2. We're down here at this First Break Cafe, Sterling, Virginia. It's about 8, 9, 10 miles outside the D.C. Beltway, and it's been a long time tournament stop for tours and all kinds of exhibitions over the years. We have 8 impeccable diamond tables with the Simonis 860 Tournament Blue and the Aramis Pro balls. Just great atmosphere, equipment. It's a little dimmer, this room, than a lot of the new avant-garde rooms that are so bright. This room is dimmer a little bit and captures a lot of the old style quality I remember when I first entered the rooms in around 1962, 63, 60 years ago.
It was a lot different back then, wasn't it, George?
Oh, yeah. I could look over, see that guy, or see Tommy on this hitting balls on this table, and his opponent would be in the chair, and I couldn't see the opponent because that's how dark it would be.
Right. Right.
And all you could see then in those days too is maybe the smoke coming up, from the darkness.
Right.
Back in those days, that was.
I remember walking into Chelsea Billiards on 21st Street in Manhattan, and when you walked in, I don't care what time you got there. It could have been midnight, it could have been 10 at night, it could have been 3 in the morning. You didn't think there were people in there. But all around the outskirts of the room was so dark, people were there, believe me, and there was eyes on you. You felt the atmosphere when you walked in.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful thing to experience. And a lot of gambling went on in Chelsea's. Chelsea's is actually in a lot of books about pool and all the gambling that went on down there. As far as gambling, I don't believe in gambling is going to set the game any higher to a level. I think it's hurting the game.
I believe it's hurt the game's image a little bit, Al, because it's, for lack of a better term, it's always kind of kept us on the back page of the sports section, if at all.
That stigma, yeah.
Yeah.
That stigma keeps us down. But, it still goes on. Players like to get in action. But I know a lot of players that don't gamble at all, top players. But anyway, George, I have to grab a cup of tea from my throat here, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
So if you kindly mute mic number 1 for me.
There you go. But we're going to have a real nice match here underway. We started with 60 players yesterday, and they started. The warfare started around 9 a.m. and they played well into the evening. And now we have 16 left. Eight that went undefeated. 8 on the one-loss side that survived, and there was a redraw and a shuffle, and it's single elimination today. These initial matches that we're going to see between in this very first stage round, there are 16 players left. We're going to have races to 9, playing that 9-ball. Some of the rules, if you weren't here yesterday. We're going to have the 9-ball counts on the break, and we're playing all ball fouls here, which means that if you just disturb an object ball or the cue ball, it's a foul, and your opponent has ball in hand. 3 consecutive fouls by the same player in the same game constitutes loss of game. And we also have the standard stuff for those of you that are 9-ball aficionados. We got the push out, this first shot immediately following the break, and we have no balls ever need be called. Sometimes, we get people that are trying to figure out what's going on and playing 9-ball, and you hit the low number ball and don't call anything. But these players, you're going to see very, very few times are you going to see slop where balls get lucked in. These folks, we have some females, I believe, that made the final 16 as well. I might be wrong on that, but I think that's the case. I haven't seen the bracket yet, but we had several females that did very, very well yesterday, and we have a new voice here joining me. It would be Andrew Manning, and I'll say hello to Andrew. Andrew was with us for a good little piece yesterday, and he's very, very knowledgeable about the game, and hopefully he's going to pick up some things that I miss. And
Good morning, everybody. Morning, George.
How you doing, Andrew?
Doing very well. Doing very well. Happy to be here today.
Oh, so am I. Out in no place I'd rather be.
So we have, I believe you were saying yesterday you actually played a role in young Thomas Haas's billiards education, George?
A little bit. When I first saw Thomas, he was around 14, 15 years old, and his dad, Scott, who's a tremendous player in his own right, went deep into this tournament. We were on the old Action Pool Tour, a now defunct regional tour in Virginia, Maryland, and all. Scott brought his son, started to bring his son down at a very young age, and he would get there sometimes Friday nights if we were in places like Virginia Beach, far away. They're from Pennsylvania, and I'd occasionally give Thomas some ideas. His dad said, "Listen to this guy." He kept saying, because he wouldn't listen to his dad, and his dad is a terrific player.
I have played Scott before. Actually, I played him last time I played this event. He's better than me. Spoiler alert.
He's a good player.
He is a good player.
I played him in the 1990s when he was young, like Thomas is, and played him at a tournament in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. There was another old tour called the Tim Scruggs Tour.
Timmy Scruggs.
My dear friend, a great cue maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very, very sad day when he passed away. His diabetes and sucking in all that at finish and sawdust all those years.
Yep.
Significantly shortened his life, I believe. But
it certainly can.
Oh yeah.
Wear your personal protective equipment, all you woodworkers out there.
He always was lax about having an OSHA spray booth, and for finishes and all that stuff, and that stuff takes its toll because that is a stone cold carcinogenic. So.
Yep.
But we also are operating with the shot clock here, and it's a 30-second shot clock, and in each rack, each player is allowed one 1-minute extension. I'm just trying to think of all the other things, little nuances about what's going on here today.
I think the nuance to the shot clock is that once the players are down on the shot, they're allowed to complete the shot, even if their time elapses. But if they stand up after time elapses, even to make a minor adjustment, that's a time foul. And one of those was actually called on Tommy TOKOPH here yesterday. I saw he adjusted his stance after time was elapsed.
We have this is just state of the art here with this overhead light, just fabulous. Upstate Al has a gigantic, beautiful stream here with just the greatest equipment.
Got an overhead view for you all that we can bring into play whenever it might be illustrative.
All right, illustrative, demonstrative, and all that other good stuff.
Edifying and clarifying.
Even magnifying.
Perhaps.
Well, I know this. It can give us some interesting perspectives that we're not going to get from the straight-on, head-on view, and again, a wonderful event. This Bob Stock Memorial Tournament has been running close to 20 years, and Bob Stock was a very, very influential people in the pool lives of some of the local champions like Brandon Schuff and a few others who speak of him with reverence. And I've been coming this tournament almost for its entire inception, a couple times as a player in the early days of it, and then in the booth about the last 10 years or so, and just a wonderful, and Chris Wilburn, our tournament director here, has done everything. He's been the man in motion. He had long pants when he started working the room yesterday, but he ended up in short pants by the end of the day. He was running his legs off out there.
Yep.
But Chris is a good young man, got lots of energy, lots of lots of stuff. We called him the Flash. And here comes young Thomas.
Thomas HAAS has entered the arena.
Yeah, Thomas. We're gonna have two Toms here, so I'm not gonna be able to get the names wrong. But I know young Thomas.
Thomas and Tommy, I guess we'll go
Thomas
with.
and Tommy. Yeah, Thomas. I believe prefers Thomas.
I can identify him. I'm an Andrew who is
You're-
neither an Andy nor a Drew.
Well, they just called me George. Some people have called me Jorge, but they were smiling when they said that.
Knew a George who went by Pedro once.
Uh-oh.
Had no idea where that came from.
Well,
His name was George.
Efren Reyes, when he came into this country many moons ago in the mid-1980s at a tournament in Texas, was, I believe, his nom de plume or his AKA was, I think it was either Cesar Morales or something along those lines.
It was Cesar Morales. And of all the times that gets brought up, I'm still not clear on whether the real Cesar Morales existed or whether that name was just did he borrow anybody's documents for that or
That's something that I only know the superficials. I'm not quite up to the intimate details of that thing, but I'm sure there are a few Cesar Moraleses if you
Yep.
go looking.
in the Philippines or any Spanish-speaking country, I'm sure that name comes up.
Plenty. He was operating incognito. But his game was never incognito. When he got up on the table, you try to figure, you wouldn't even remember the guy's name. You just remember what he did to you.
Yep. I mean, maybe if you only ever watched him practice stroke, you might think you had a chance. But once you see him hit the balls,
He talents like that come around only so often, and
only so often.
yeah.
And his straight rail billiards, it's a game nobody plays, really. I mean, I shouldn't say nobody. I don't want to insult anybody who plays the game, but it's a game that very few pool players have dabbled in. But it's what Efren Reyes was a national champion in before he was a pool champion. And it seems to come up a lot. Sure. I can do it now. Now's a good chance.
We have, we've had like parallels, people that came over with snooker backgrounds came to this country. Three gigantic lady players that had that snooker background.
Sure, the Fishers and Karen Core.
And yeah, the Fishers, that's true. And then there were a few more too, I believe. I'm not sure whether Gerda Hofstetter that came up in that period of time had that snooker. I think she was more traditional looking than that straddle and
Is she Austrian, German?
Austrian, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if snooker's big there.
No, but if they had purses and tournaments and all for the ladies in Q sports, and she was proficient, it wasn't that far to go from Austria to England or Ireland or wherever to do that thing.
Yep.
Thomas, if he has, it's going to be a question of him and just staying focused. That's because he's got about all the shots. He's got lovely touch. Like I said, I've known him since he was a real young fella, and I would say he's about 22 years old these days.
Well, and starting young, you can see it in a player's game sometimes. I picked up the game in my early 20s, and a lot of these guys who've been playing since they were literally children, It's kind of a different level of natural natural ease with the game.
But you know how I can tell. I've been a 45-year instructor, and how I can tell that people picked up the game as kids is that they move with fluidity, and their movements are never as mechanical as those of us that pick up the game as adults. And if you have a dad or an uncle or somebody that was your role model, what happens is that you're going to do lots of emulation. And his dad Scott, I believe, and I saw him when he was his dad when he was young, and I believe then Scott had a hand that was, quote unquote, I hope not to be sacrilegious on a Sunday, but his hand was touched by God, with that special talent, that special ability. There he dropped his elbow.
That he did.
You guys live right now?
Yes. Both Andrew and I. Oh.
Good morning.
We got Eddie the Lock approaching the booth, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, as long as he's not a lock on the Panama Canal, or the Loch Ness Monster.
I'm gonna go mess with Wilkie.
Yeah.
Is he smart?
I don't know.
Looks important with that bank bag.
We're going to get started shortly. I'm just going to run some commercials, so they're not going to hear you. You're good. Let them roll, baby.
PremierBilliards.com. Exceptional cues, cases, and accessories from top-tier brands. Want it? Need it? Find it. PremierBilliards.com.
The question is do we ever step back and look at what we've done and wonder why we're here, kind of pinch ourselves and my answer to that is yeah, every day pretty much. I mean, I look at her, we talk about that all the time, like we can't believe we're here. We truly feel lucky. I mean, if anybody asked me what's the secret to this business, to us in this business, beyond the quality of the product, it's the relationships that we forge with our customers, with the people who enable us to be here. It's the people who come back and buy 2 or 3 or 4 cases, and the people who bring their friends. They trust us enough to vouch for us for their friends. And that is just amazing to us. We look around and we're like, how lucky can we be?
At JB Cases, we care about your cues by putting layers of padded protection around them and then build as much case as you want around that protection. Visit us at jbcases.com and design your case today.
you know, Richard Sue.
Yeah.
He makes those tsunami shafts. Those are really good. I've
You
got
like
one
'em?
of those for my Southwest. I like it a lot, and I'm going to have him make me some for other cues.
Whether you're new to pool and practicing the basics, or a more experienced player performing drills to improve your shot making and positional play, the Drill Partner is perfect for you.
The Diamond Paragon Pool Table. Diamond tables are designed and manufactured from the highest quality, sustainable hardwoods, utilizing world-renowned designs. Diamond tables are unparalleled for playability and durability. After all, they are designed by players for players.
Digital Pool is the ultimate app for billiards enthusiasts, tournament directors, and league operators. Digital Pool enables world-class billiards events by using innovative technology to enhance and streamline the experience at every angle. Experience features like live scoring, text notifications, table assignments, real-time match updates, automatic reporting the Fargo rating, player stats and profiles, live streaming overlays, online player registration, and digital payment tracking. Enjoy all this and more by signing up for your free account at digitalpool.com.
PremierBilliards.com. Exceptional cues, cases, and accessories from top-tier brands. Want it? Need it? Find it. PremierBilliards.com.
The question is do we ever step back and, like, you know, look at what we've done and wonder, you know, why we're here, kind of pinch ourselves, and my answer to that is yeah, every day pretty much. I mean, I look at her, we talk about that all the time, like we can't believe we're here. We truly feel lucky, you know. I mean, if anybody asked me what's the secret to this business, to us in this business, beyond the quality of the product, it's the relationships that we forge with our customers, with the people who enable us to be here. You know, it's the people who come back and buy 2 or 3 or 4 cases, and the people who bring their friends. They trust us enough to vouch for us for their friends, and that is just amazing to us. You know, we look around and we're like, how lucky can we be?
At JB Cases, we care about your cues by putting layers of padded protection around them and then build as much case as you want around that protection. Visit us at jbcases.com and
Okay, we're all here. They just did a photo shoot. Welcome, everyone. You guys probably said welcome, everyone, already. My name's Eddie Culhane, here with George Hammerbacher and Andrew. Wait,
Matt.
don't tell. Oh, see, you blew it now. No, it's too late now.
It's too late.
How are you?
Can't test him. Andrew Manning, for anyone out there who...
Peyton's brother, Peyton's uncle.
Yes, Peyton's underfunded cousin. Keep asking Peyton and Eli to share the wealth. They somehow keep saying, I don't know who you are, and how did
There's
you
a
get
lot
this
of-
number?
Right there. Get about a foot.
What's he looking for?
It will help if you put a...
Hanging a sheet for some reason?
Some reflection maybe
Oh,
off
I
the.
don't think that's an OSHA-approved ladder technique there.
They're gonna get fined.
I have no opinion on outside issues.
What are they? I don't know what they're trying to do with that. Trying to reduce glare with.
We don't want to see that light come crashing down. That would be.
I mean, the light is heavy enough that it should be hung with something pretty sturdy, one would hope.
Yeah, we can see. You got to go up more.
Little.
Just a little bit more up on your left side. No, it's still causing the glare.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Just on your left side. Needs to go up a little. Yep, you're out of frame there. Okay.
Is it going to drop?
No, it's about way too much. I think they already got something up. Yeah, but still a glare, so it doesn't matter. We need to get these.
Okay, I'm back. Check. He hates when I say
Put him in the
check.
bathroom.
Now I'm going to do it on purpose. Hey,
Out of spite.
this is a hell of a floor right now, this final 16.
It is a hell of a field.
Sure is.
These are.
This is Tommy TOKOPH playing Tommy HAAS?
Yes,
It
Tommy
is.
Tommy show?
Yeah.
Yep.
The Tommy show.
All Tommies all the time.
Well, Thomas HAAS played great yesterday. He was.
Are they rolling?
He was probably the only one that let loose with the 6-pack.
Right, you're correct. Yeah.
And something that you had been talking about through yesterday's matches that we hadn't seen when the feature table
clock
here.
working?
Maybe a 2 or 3, and that was it.
So 2 or 3 counting balls on the break or something.
Right,
and
9 ball on the
combos.
break counted. Yeah.
We're rolling.
We might have got a 4-pack maybe yesterday.
Yeah. Well, these people here are. This is Tommy TOKOPH.
And Tommy HAAS.
Tom HAAS. Thomas HAAS. He prefers Thomas.
The Tommy show.
And it looks like he
Nice
almost
lag.
froze this ball.
Wow,
He-
nice. How's that for
That's-
lag?
It takes a. So, do you know much, Ed, about Tom TOKOPH, where he's from?
He's out of Houston, area.
Houston?
But his lady friend lives in this area, and they're back to visit him whenever. And I guess he decided to get in and make the trip. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
You're at fault for the mics being too loud here.
We'll do our
We gotta
best
keep it down.
imitation of golf commentators.
If I see
here.
any great shots, they're going to hear it out there. I know
The
they are.
commentary whisper. They're used to you. I don't want them to be mad at me.
It's your fault, Andrew.
It is.
Well,
I get you all worked up.
I got all the equipment in my car, for truncation of bodies, and plastics.
You know who was impressive with the break yesterday? It was Wilkie's break was on the money. It was great. When he played his last match, I think it was on the TV table. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really playing great. And now he's playing Tyler Steyer.
Mm-hmm. And like we were starting to tell the audience that there were 60 players started. These are the 16. 8 of them went undefeated. 8 had 1 loss, but there was a redraw, and they're playing a 16-player single elimination event. This first set between the two Toms here are going to be a race to 9.
Do you know with the 8 that did have losses, were any of them seeded in any way for the final 16?
No, I don't
It's
believe
just
so.
a redraw
No.
for the whole thing?
I was talking to